Okay, the Mendocino County Civil Service Commission meeting has come to order at 9:00 a.m. on February 20th, 21st, 2024. Clerk, could you please conduct the roll call?
Yes.
Mendocino
Commissioner Poplawski,
County Civil Service
Chair Evian
Commission
here,
meeting.
Commissioner Wiley,
Here.
and Commissioner Mortensen is absent by prior arrangement.
Clerk, has proper posting of agenda been established?
The proper posting of the agenda has been established.
Item 2 is approval of minutes of the January 17th, 2024 commission meeting. Commissioners, any comment on this item?
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
Any further discussion? Clerk, could you please conduct a roll call vote?
Commissioner Wiley,
Yes.
Commissioner Poplawski,
Yes.
Chair Evian,
Yes,
motion carries unanimously.
the minutes are approved as presented by unanimous vote. Item 3 is public expression. This is an opportunity for the public to address the commission on matters not listed on the agenda. Individuals wishing to address the commission under public expression are welcome to do so via email, Zoom, or voicemail message. Do I keep reading the rest? For what? I guess I will. For more information, please visit the Mendocino County Civil Service Commission webpage. All written correspondence received by 8 a.m. the day of the meeting will be attached to the item and made available online on the Civil Service Commission webpage. Any speakers? Okay, we will go on to the next item. Item 4, employee organization. This item is an opportunity for employee organization representatives to address the commission. No action will be taken on this item. Any?
I have no.
Okay. Moving right along. Item 5, closed session. So
Yes, I will go ahead and clear the room.
introduce them. Okay,
Yes.
item 5A is a request to extend probationary period for social worker 1, social services, parentheses, family and children services. Item 5B is a request to extend probationary period for substance abuse counselor 2, behavioral health and recovery services. Item 5.3 is a request for an employment application appeal for road maintenance supervisor 2, bridge. So let's adjourn to closed session at 9:03. The commission will is returning to open session at 10 a.m. Report from our closed session for item 5A, the request to extend probationary period for social worker 1 was unanimously approved by the commission. For item 5B, the request to extend probationary period for substance abuse counselor 2 was approved unanimously by the commission. For item 5C, the request for employment application appeal for road maintenance supervisor 2 was denied unanimously by the commission. Yeah. So direct that one. Sound marvelous. Thank you, really do. Thank you. You're lucky to have me.
You've got a
Yeah,
good future. in it.
yes.
You college has some really good classes for equipment operator.
Expensive.
Yeah, they are. But maybe the county will.
Does the county have a program like that to help employees with their training?
We try, I mean, we don't have a formal program, but we try and get our guys on there. I mean, like I said earlier, our goal is to have all road maintenance worker 4s at the least, you know, that's the ideal operation for us, but you know, it takes time and it's one of those things that you can't learn in a book. You have to have the time on the equipment to learn it. You know, unfortunately, Bryce is right in the sense that, you know, when you're short staffed, it's harder and harder to get the guys the time that they need. But I'm confident that Mr. Pizzani will do well with us.
Don't get discouraged.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
For your time.
thank you. Appreciate your guys' service.
Thank you. Item 6, classification studies. There are no classification studies to present. Item 7, other business, commission hearing quorum. Is there something for HR to present here?
That is me,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
Good morning, commissioners, William Schurz, Assistant HR Director. I'm presenting you to this item today. The actual item is to, we're asking the commission to approve a request for disciplinary appeal hearings to be brought for the commission with an odd number of commissioners sitting on the hearing panel. This is for discipline appeal hearings only. And then a random selection method is determined. And I'll give you a little bit of background. In 2019, a disciplinary appeal was brought before a panel of 4 commissioners, of which at the conclusion of the hearing and after extensive deliberation, the commissioners deadlocked with a 2-2 tie to uphold and to reverse the order of disciplinary action. Since neither motion passed by majority vote, the commission failed to take action on the appellant's appeal. As a result, the order of disciplinary action remained in full force and effect. After the tied decision, the appellant filed a lawsuit against the county in 2020, alleging the county had violated the appellant's constitutional rights by taking their property without getting a majority vote from the commission. In 2021, the court dismissed the lawsuit, and although the county prevailed, a tie vote comes with complications that are best avoided. So in consultation with county council, Human Resources recommends commission hearings for disciplinary appeals to be held with an odd number of commissioners hearing the appeal going forward. That is, at this point, you have 4 commissioners, so we would ask that there would only be 3 to hear a disciplinary appeal. If you had all 5 commissioners, if all 5 are available, then all 5 can hear. But we highly Yeah, it makes
Makes
sense.
sense, yeah.
Secondly, in doing so, there needs to be a method to select the commissioners that would be attending sitting on the hearing panel. Human Resources recommends a random selection method, such as drawing of straws or numbers to avoid any complaint that the selection of the hearing panel members was intentional to bias the commission in hearing the appeal. So that's what the request before you is. Do you agree that the odd number should be the method going forward to hear disciplinary appeals only? And to have a random method of selection of the commissioners that would hear.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Why, target disciplinary hearings specifically, like today, Mr. Bazzani, there were 4 of us and it had deadlocked 2-2. Why, just that category?
For this particular reason, because property rights are in question. When someone holds permanent position, they have property rights to their job. Disciplinary appeals, a lot of times, those property rights are removed through due process, which is allowed for those candidates or applicants that are requesting an appeal to have their application pass, or for any of the extension of probation, that's not a property right either. It's up to you as the commission, if you wanted to hear all appeals, then you could certainly do that as well, with a 3, odd number panel, if that's your desire, you could certainly do that.
One of you have to abstain.
So what would happen, like the first 2 today were extension of probationary periods? What if it was deadlocked 2-2? What happens in that case? I mean, isn't that a kind of
Then there
a
would-
modification of property rights in some?
Well,
You're not taking,
not taking him.
Well, that's why I'm wondering what happens if the commission was deadlocked, what would happen in that case?
Well, in that case, then the commission wouldn't be approving an extension, so there would be no extension.
So if there's no extension, does a person lose their position?
They may, yes.
So that's property rights, yes?
It's not property rights if they're on probation.
Oh, well, I don't know, I think that's
So-
fine, I hear that, but I think that should be included, because it's kind of a de facto. It's an unfair advantage for the people bringing the request. No, that's not how I want to phrase. It's not fair to the employee that if it's deadlocked, it bodes negatively. So I would think that it would be good to include those types of situations as well.
Okay,
so the question is, say you have 4, we have 5 commissioners now? Yeah, 4.
we have 4 commissioners.
Out of 5.
So the 4 could listen to the argument, but only 3 could vote, is that possible?
I would,
Because the 4th person may or may not have influence over the group thought.
right,
You see what you see where I'm
I
going?
see what you're saying, so at chance, whoever would, if all 4 would be in session to hear the appeal,
But one would have to step out for a vote.
one would have to step out for a vote, yes.
I mean,
I
that's
would
awkward, but
I would recommend,
then each commissioner has a voice.
As
See
a
what's
voice.
said by vote. Well, you'd have each commissioner would have the ability to influence the other commissioner.
Right.
Vote before the vote.
Well, so the person that's. If you had 4 commissioners, in the session. One commissioner that was given
The go, yeah. leave
Yeah.
the room.
if we were to draw numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, the one with that, the 0, you have 0 input, you have 0. You're essentially abstaining, you don't get to, ask questions, you don't participate in the appeal itself.
Observer,
What's that?
you'd be an observer.
Right, so you wouldn't have any,
Yeah, then
essentially,
that's-
they would walk out of it.
If legally you'd have to be an observer, then what's, there would be no reason to do that.
So, but it's not possible to do what David's suggesting,
What's
that the fourth commissioner could still participate in the hearing. But when it comes time to vote,
I don't know, I was
Let's
trying
not
to think of what, from a
no,
legal standpoint, what an attorney might say in terms of. Yet this individual that didn't vote influenced the whole commission. And so, that's kind of unfair too. From a Brown Act probably standpoint,
So, the recommendation
is 3.
is to have the
Okay.
3 hear it.
Do you need a motion to agree or?
This is something that
Just
the
an
commission, our request is for the commission to approve. At this point is disciplinary appeals, having an odd number of
So
commissioners to hear
that
those.
becoming,
And if you want to change it to all appeals, you can do so as well. So the up and coming one, yes. And we actually have numbers for you to choose. For
Yeah,
the up and coming, if you decide that this is something that the commission wants to do.
well, I think that. Legal is suggesting we have to. Or we take.
Well,
liability
it's not
to
that
the
we
county.
it would prevent the litigation that you would see in that type of a situation.
It's a
And
no-brainer.
any type of there's additional issues, both parties have expenses that they have to. I mean, it's easier to have an odd number voting panel to determine an outcome of
Yeah.
for all parties.
So I would have to say, over 25 years I've been on this commission, I don't think we've ever had a deadlock over any extension of probation or anything to do with, we did have some pretty testy fights over the social workers a few years ago, saying they should have been able to be accepted for the application, but even those, we did not have a deadline. The other thing is, even if we voted unanimously to fire somebody, they could still litigate.
Sure.
And I mean, that's not preventing them, but of course, if it's a 2-2, then,
Just makes.
then it looks like, that they have more of a case, I guess. I guess the other thing about a system, I know already we've had one discipline thing where I voluntarily opted out of being in it, which for me at the time was a great thing. I mean, doing the discipline hearings is definitely the most arduous part of being on this commission. And so I was happy to opt out, to let it go on. But I also think the other thing, which has been an issue over time, is it often becomes very difficult to come up with the dates that these things can be held. So I think in some way that has to be figured in, and who's the most available or something like that, and not just a luck of the draw kind of thing to be most effective. But I don't know exactly how you work that out, but
Legally, I think you'd have to have a draw. Like you're suggesting, right?
So if I may, for instance, for the March tentative March hearing. All commissioners are available, at this point in time, all commissioners are available. And so we would, have a draw of the chance of draw of the numbers to determine if that changes, then the draw would then be put aside, and then we would adjust how. So that would be,
Is that a disciplinary hearing?
the hearing in March, yes.
Okay, so I think it's a great idea to have an odd number. But I'd like it broader.
Okay.
That's all, to include all appeals, and even though we all routinely grant requests to extend probationary periods, there's nothing wrong with including that as well, just because you never know.
Okay.
Okay, that'd be my suggestion.
And so you can decide as the commission
Oh,
what you would like to do,
okay,
either way.
do you have a problem with that?
I do.
I do
Feel
too.
that complicates the process of being on this commission, which we do fairly regularly have these appeals like we dealt with this morning. And I don't know, I feel that would complicate the coming to the meetings, being on the commission.
And not having a voice. Yeah.
What about if you're in that seat though? What if you're in that seat? That's what I think about. It's not so much whether, it's not about us, it's about
Right.
that person. And if that person, if there's a negative effect to that person because we deadlocked, then I think it's important to circumvent that. That's, to me, the reason to do it.
So we have 4 commissioners, but we have, there's.
There's
five.
there's one vacant.
So we have
for the
one
first
vacant,
district.
what districts on him?
And we've never had so few as in the last couple of years. I mean, these supervisors have not been very proactive in
No.
making sure they have appointed.
But you could have an even number even with 5, someone can't go that day, so it doesn't,
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see your argument, but.
but what?
It's the property rights issue. In a disciplinary, there's property right. Whereas all the rest, there's not. But I get your fairness.
If there's an extension,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and I asked that question, yeah, the person would lose their job. If the probationary period wasn't extended, even though it's not property right.
So you're gonna
because
make a
they're
vote then?
Well, no, we just get to decide, we don't have to make a this is not an action item, right? Like where you make a motion, how do we do this?
And you can make them, yes, we're asking for your approval of our request. So
Okay,
it's-
I'll make a motion that we, agree that for all appeals and requests for probationary periods, a request for extension of probationary periods, that an odd number of commissioners get to vote or get to,
Yeah,
get to
good
be,
enough, we understand.
well, trying to just participate, thank you, participate in the hearing, yeah. An odd number, that'd be my motion. It just covers it all, we don't, yeah, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I'll second.
Okay,
Roll call.
we need a roll call, yeah,
Commissioner Poplawski,
No,
Chair Evian,
yes,
Commissioner Wiley,
Yes,
the vote passes 2-1.
thank you for bringing that up,
Oh, you're welcome.
yeah. Okay, Item 8, Human Resources Director Report.
Yes. Again, William Schurtz, Assistant HR Director. This is gonna be a short one. I I'm retiring in 9 days.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
Whoa,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
You're
So
gonna love it.
that's what I'm planning on.
the end of the month.
End of the month, yeah, as of March 1st, no, that's my last day.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, you will no longer be seeing my face at these lovely meetings. You will be seeing Denise Bartlett.
Are you the new director?
She's the
Interim?
acting assistant HR director at this point.
Congratulations.
Assistant.
The moment.
Wait a minute,
That's
acting
cool.
assistant HR director,
Right,
so.
she's not been promoted to this position that I hold. As of yet, so she's in that acting role. We often put people in acting roles, to ensure that the duties of that position are still.
So there won't be an HR director.
We have an acting, HR director, it's Deputy CEO Sherry Johnson. She is the actual acting HR director, of which I take direction from.
Okay,
And so she's acting. There's no permanent HR director. There is a permanent assistant HR director that will be retiring in 9 days. But then after that, then Denise will be
you're
an acting.
assistant HR, okay,
I'm an assistant.
okay,
He was the director and then he
Right.
retired.
right.
I retired and then I came back.
That's the assistant though, yeah, okay.
So,
Wow, that's great.
yeah. So anyway, so she'll be the one that's running the show from a commission secretary side of things.
Mhm.
And just wanted to make sure that you knew that was the case.
So we'll hear reports from you,
Yes,
right,
yes.
great.
And there is a lot on the upcoming docket, so to speak, for the commission, because I think we had told you previously that we are in the process of revising the civil service rules. And it's been a long time since there's been significant revisions to it. And I think they should be in the next month or two, be able to provide the commission with the revisions, recommend revisions of the rules, and it's up to the commission to accept those. And there's a lot of them, so that it should be an interesting meeting for everyone involved. But I think it really will help with the processes and the guidance for all county employees on how civil service works, how we go about doing the different things that we do in the commission, that you do, and especially the hearings, and how the recruitment and classification works, and how we go about doing that work as well. So I think it's a much needed revision for the rules, and I think we spent a lot of time and work on this, and did a lot of research, and I think we've got a pretty good product
Good.
to consider.
Which district doesn't have a commissioner,
That would be the first district.
which is, who's the supervisor,
Glenn McGordon is the supervisor,
who's not running for reelection?
not running for reelection.
How do you? In the county, like, light a fire under him to, no?
So. I don't know if light a fire under anyone. But what we have done, and we do, on a routine basis, have asked for, commission seats to be filled. We can ask, again,
We can, we can call, go ahead.
you can as a commissioner,
You know.
as well.
I didn't mean that with any disrespect.
No, absolutely not.
We can put pressure on you then too, you know.
Yeah,
And it is, and it,
Yeah.
right, and it is the individual, you know, the citizens,
Forum.
yeah, you
And
have
you
to,
don't have to live in
you
the
have to
district.
volunteer, yeah, you don't have to live in the district to, so we have had that, case before too, so.
okay.
But you think Glenn would have plenty of people to choose from, hearing about it.
Well, it's not that desirable a position,
It's, and
it's
it,
not high paying or.
no, and we would like to look at that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I
Have fun
have
in your retirement.
lots of labor compatriots who are on other civil service commissions that make a lot more money.
Yeah, the. I don't know if you knew this, but that, the amount of money for commissioners was set in 1965.
Wow,
And it has to be per code, so code's gonna have to be revised to that. And so it'd be something that we would have to take to the board, for revision of, compensation for, commissioners.
Well, there's a limit too.
Yeah.
all right,
All right, that's all I have for you.
thank you, and best wishes and stay healthy.
Thank you, I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
Do we need to do the numbers now or?
Yes, that's the other thing, doing the numbers, the chance for whoever's going to be
Not at the meeting.
not at the hearing for this coming disciplinary hearing. Since, Commissioner Mortensen is not here, the last number will be Commissioner Mortensen's number. And whoever has the 0 is the one that would be not,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you- since this out.
so we have Mortensen's the 0.
All right.
So it looks like
Right.
this commission here will be your panel for the hearing, unless something has changed. You know, unless one of you is not available,
so far so good.
then we would, you know, make whatever adjustments in our
Right, okay,
We're still talking 1920.
19th and 20th of March.
right,
Okay,
okay. Well, there's no other business today, so this meeting is adjourned at 10:28.
Thank you, Buzz.